Hey everyone, this is Aegis, and I'm casting the quarterfinal of the Collegiate Masters StarLeague. This is going to be Fault versus his opponent Andori. Fault, let me see, Andori is 23rd seed, and Fault is the 15th seed. And it does look like Andori has vetoed Jungle Basin, and his opponent, Fault, has vetoed Shakura's Plateau. And it does look like I left the music running, so I'm going to turn that off so we can hear the glory, the full glory of the Protoss sounds here. Alright, so Fault vetoed Shakura's Plateau, and then Dory did veto Jungle Basin. It's going to be a mirror matchup. On Scrap Station, the first map on all of the quarterfinals was Scrap Station. And the loser does get to choose a map. So we'll see what happens in these matches. Both players doing pretty standard right now, building things in their own bases, except for Fault getting the assimilator before Gateway. He's definitely trying to get a lot of gas for some sort of build. We'll see if he goes for DT, see if he gets out a lot of Void Rays early. It's hard to tell right now, but it does look like Andori is going to come over here and scout that. It does look like Fault is going to wall off with his Gateway. In PvP, you usually don't want to wall off because of the large concave that the stalkers can get on your buildings. Alright, so there is a little probe race going on over here, going to be chasing Andori's probe around, and this tournament was sponsored by the UMBC SGA and SteelSeries Professional Gaming Gear. Check them out at steelseries.com, as well as Monster Energy Drink. Pick one up today. Andori getting his assimilator over here. I know that's not the slogan for Monster Energy Drink, but I just made that up. Sounds good. Looks like there is going to be some rally pointing over here. Gonna be able to scout without having to look at the probe. The Cybernetics core coming up for Andori. Does look like Fault is going to delay his just by a little bit because of the early gas. He does have 3 harvesters in gas. We'll see when he decides to pick up the second gas. Andori is still scouting around. He can actually click on the assimilator and see that it's been harvesting for quite some time now. Andori's not going to grab his assimilator yet. Looks like he might be looking to throw down some sort of tech structure or a gateway real soon. Or just going to go for the standard stalker. Nope, there's the gateway coming up for Andori. There's also the probe race continuing over here, and soon a stalker will be chrono boosted to chase that probe out, or just to kill it. Looks like Fault's probe did get killed off by that Zealot, and Andori should be moving his out of here real soon. There's that Zealot now joining the probe race. And the stalker now coming up. No chrono boost being used on the warp gate research. It does look like Andori is chrono boosting his research. He does have an idle probe over here. Go back to work. Go back to work. He might be looking to do a 4-gate. There it is, the classic 4-gate. Always great in PvP. You gotta do it or else you're gonna lose, because less gateways equals you die. It does look like Fault is going to try to scout over here, and he's going to see all 4 gateways. Andori doesn't have any stalkers over here, so Fault will be able to notice these and will be able to prepare for the 4-gate. He should be throwing down additional gateways of his own, but it is a Stargate, so he's got to chrono boost out that first Void Ray as quickly as possible. Andori going to build a pylon on the low ground and decides not to. Going to pull back just a little bit. Going to start opening up those warp gates now and see if he can do some damage. The Stalker and the Zealot are moving across the map to Andori's base, going to try to pick off any probes trying to build pylons, but no such thing is out on the field right now. A Twilight Council going down for Andori. What is he trying to do? You can't go for Warp Gate Blink. He doesn't even have the second gas. We'll see what he decides to do in this case. It does look like the Void Rays will soon be on the way. Fault grabbing a Forge at the front as well. Chrono boosting not Void Rays but Phoenix, so he's going to try to use that to pick up Andori's Stalkers. Going to get a surround on Fault's Stalker over there and going to kill that off. Some observers are pinging the map. I don't remember having casting this. I guess I was busy and the other casters are doing this, but the couple of pings did go off. A photon cannon's up front now. Phoenix are being chrono boosted once again. just like that game versus Wonderbread, but we don't know that in this game. Did go back to cast the quarterfinals. Andori now grabbing his second gas. I really don't understand this build right here. He's got the Twilight Council and 4 gateways. Not too sure what exactly he's trying to do. Fault's plan is quite clear. He's got his 3 gates as well as Stargate. Chrono boosting out those Phoenix is going to try to do some harassment later on. Andori going to start getting pylons in the back. He will be ready to build cannons. However, he might not know about those. Whoopsie. I just hit the back button. Well, that's okay, because Andori does not know about those Phoenix coming out. He does have a probe microing over here. Gonna see if he can see anything, but no such thing is to be seen. Fault does have a Zella over here at this Xel'Naga Watchtower. Andori not making use of that 4 warp gate. Not making use of the Twilight Council. I don't like this build at all. He's got to do something with everything in order to be okay in this game. He's building a pylon over here, but it does look like Fault does spot it. He has a probe over here. It will be able to kill that forward pylon off. That pylon would have been better off like out here, but he did choose to put it over there. But Fault decides to not worry about it. He is rallying his Phoenixes over here. He's going to come over here and try to do some harass. There's a Dark Shrine coming up for Andori, and Fault does see it now, so he will be able to prepare for it. Oh, Fault with 2 sentries. It looks like Andori is surging forward with a ton of stalkers, and we should be warping in some Dark Templar sometime soon. It does look like the Phoenix have been forced to back out. Looks like there's an attack coming up front. It's going to start busting down that photon cannon. Force fields going down, holding back some of those Zealots, but not quite able to hold back all of them. The Fault's forces are quickly being whittled down. It does look like the Phoenix are, where are those Phoenix? Are back here, not doing their fair share of the work. Looks like Andori has made his way into the base. He still has a Dark Templar outside. There is a photon cannon available for use though, and the Phoenix is coming over here, gonna try to save the day once again. Is gonna have to lift a bunch of those stalkers and try to take those out. And the lift, there's a lift, gonna be able to pick off that Dark Templar. However, the stalkers are free to do whatever they want. There we go. There's the lift on the stalkers. Going to be picking them off while they're floating in the air. A Dark Templar now moving into the back as well. If Andori can maneuver that quickly, it can do a lot of probe kills. It's doing a lot of damage right now. It looks like that Dark Templar was in range of sight of that cannon, so it did just get taken out. The Phoenixes are going to go back on the offensive. It's generally even right now. Andori's not spending the chrono boost on his Nexus. He's got to get out more probes to be able to surge back ahead in this game. The Dark Templar is still trying to do damage there. It's getting walled off there, and there's a photon cannon trying to come up, but the Dark Templar is starting to work away on it. We'll see who wins. Is it going to be the Dark Templar, or is it going to be the cannon? And the cannon does go down. The Dark Templar is still alive. Gonna be able to do tons of damage over here. Gonna be moving towards that cannon. Gonna get lifted and picked off. Andori can just leave the Dark Templar over here and pick off the Nexus, maybe pick off some pylons. Fault is in a horrible shape right now. That Dark Templar can go back to work on those probes. Gonna be able to do tons of damage. Andori's got to put up some cannons to help defend against any Phoenix harassment. 2 Dark Templar now inside the base. Gonna start wailing away at the Nexus. Does look like Fault is gonna pick up one of his own probes. This Dark Templar over here now has 2 kills. Could actually go back to work on the probes. Looks like Fault is trying to get up more cannons, but the Dark Templar might be able to take this out. GG calls Fault. And it does look like Andori wins this first game, and Fault does get to pick the next map. Fault chooses Xel'Naga Caverns as the game 2 map.